Hi there, I'm Jessica Woods with the City of Round Rock's Water Conservation Program, and I'm here to help you find a water leak on your property today. The EPA says that 1 trillion gallons of water are lost nationwide due to unknown water leaks at people's properties. We don't want one of those people to be you, so we're going to help find them today. So the first step in determining if you have a water leak is to locate your water meter, because that is going to be your #1 tool to see how much water is actually flowing, if any water is flowing to your property. Now your water meter is going to be located outside in the yard. It's not in the garage, it's not on the side of the house. It's out in the yard, typically with a black plastic lid in a square or a rectangular shape that looks just like this or very similar. Inside here is 2 meters. One going to your neighbor's house and one going to your house. All right, and then we'll take a look at the face of the meter, and that'll tell us if there is any water flowing through here. The top left-hand corner of the meter is currently showing 000.0 GPM. That GPM stands for gallons per minute. That's how many gallons of water would be flowing through the meter. You can also look in the top middle section of this meter face, and if there is water flowing, there would be an arrow pointed towards your property saying water is flowing through the meter, through the main line up towards your house. All right, now just north of the water meter should be located your homeowner cutoff. And this is going to be a round lid. It could be a green plastic lid like what you see here, or it could be a round metal lid. If your property even has one, I do want to say not every property has one. You can always have a homeowner cutoff added on by a plumber would need to come and do that. So inside your homeowner cutoff, inside this lid, you just pop it off, and there's a handle in here where you can shut all water off going to your property. Just make sure this box stays cleaned out. You might want to check it once a year. Turn the valve just to make sure it is still working properly and not rusting up. But this would be to turn off all the water to your property. Sprinkler system, the entire house, everything. Okay, the next place to easily check to see if you have a water leak would be trying to decide if the leak is with your sprinkler system, if you have one, or on the main line going to your house. So if you do have an automatic sprinkler system, your yard is going to have a box that looks like this. It's a green rectangular lid. It could be covered up by grass. You might have to locate it, but it's going to be somewhere close to the meter. Inside this box is called a backflow prevention device. And this is all water that goes to the sprinkler system goes through the backflow prevention device. So if we just open up this lid, and then there's a handle in here that we can turn off water that goes through the backflow device, so that way no water is going to the sprinkler system. Then we can go back and check the meter to see if it is still registering a leak or not registering a leak. If you turn off water to the backflow prevention device and the water stops on the water meter, that means the leak is located inside the sprinkler system. So another place to check is outside along the main water line that connects the water meter to your house. We don't have a plan that says this is exactly where that line is located, so you'll just need to make your best guess on where that line is located. But it will be between the water meter and your house in a straight line. So I would just walk along the front part of your yard looking for soggy areas, wet areas, maybe grass or landscaping that looks taller or a little bit more healthy because it's got more water. We don't normally see a lot of standing water on people's yards due to leaks. One of the obvious places to check would be the hose bib outside the house. I would just go walk around the house and look and see if there's any dripping coming from these outdoor faucets. Another place to look outside your house is where the hot water heater would drain to if the hot water heater is overflowing. And that's going to be a pipe that is coming outside your house. It's going to look similar to this. Not every house, though, depending on the age, is going to be exactly like this. But if there is water flowing out of this pipe, that would mean your hot water heater is overflowing. Find your water heater inside your house. You can also check the pan again to see if there's water in the pan. This would be the water that's draining out of that pipe outside the house. And then if that is the case, you can turn the water off to the water heater so that drip will stop just by turning the valve. If your house has a water softener, that's another good place to check for constant water flow. Your water softener might not look exactly like this, but typically they only regenerate at night when people aren't using water inside the house. If your water softener is making noise during daylight hours or making that regeneration noise just for hours and hours on end, it might be malfunctioning, and you can bypass your water softener by turning off the water to the house that goes through it, or you might have a knob on the top of the water softener that you can bypass it so it would stop making that noise until you can have it serviced and fixed. Inside the bathroom are some major places to look for leaks. We're going to start with the sink. You would see water dripping out of the sink. A lot of times that drip can be stopped with some simple plumber's tape. We can also look under the sink if you're able to, where the hot and cold water connections are, and see if there's water dripping from those connections. Next is a big culprit, which is the toilet. A toilet is often a silent leaker, and a lot of times it's one of the biggest causes of leaks inside a house. So truly, after looking at your water meter, I would check the toilets next. All the toilets in the house, all of them, even the ones that don't get used very often. So what you can do to check a toilet for a leak is, first thing is take off the back part, the tank lid. And I have dye tablets that I'm going to use to check this toilet for leaks. You can also use food coloring for this. We're going to give it 5-10 minutes or so, not flushing the toilet. And then we're going to look inside the bowl of the toilet to see if any of that coloring has appeared here. If we do see that blue color or whatever color you used of food coloring appear in the bowl, then that means your flapper is not sealing properly and you have a leak on the toilet. The flapper is the part that opens and closes each time the toilet flushes. Sometimes that would just need to be wiped off and cleaned. Other times you might need to actually replace that flapper so it seals properly. Inside the shower is the next place to look. Your shower head could be dripping. There could be water just while it's turned on and running. Water could be dripping from the connection of the shower head to the pipe. So you can unscrew, take off the shower head, and then put on a new layer of plumber's tape. You can already see there is some plumber's tape on the shower head. That's the white up here. Now we've covered the major areas to look for water leaks at your property. There are a few other things we didn't look at specifically, like dishwashers and clothes washers, but that would be more obvious as you'd see the water puddling on your floor. If you have looked around and you know that there is a water leak on your property, it might be best to call a plumber to help locate that, as city staff are not available to do that. But you can always find more information on our website at roundrocktexas.gov/leaks.